All right, everyone. Welcome to this week's Prime Professionals. And today's guest is my good friend, Jose Debasa with People's Insurance. Listen, folks, if you are looking for someone to talk to about your insurance coverage for your home, Jose, I've been doing business with him for several years, and he's really reliable, honest, and he's going to give you as much information as you need to understand what your coverage and your insurance coverage looks like. So, Jose, glad you're here.
Thank you.
Listen,
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about the company, what folks can probably expect from you today.
So I pretty much been doing insurance since I was 16 years old. I'm 37 now, so I've been in the industry for over 20 years, Mark.
Fantastic.
And I opened my office 9 years ago. And before I opened my office, I worked with State Farm for the last 10 years before I actually went ahead independent and opened my own firm. So we focus tremendously on customer service.
Right.
We make sure that our customers, when they come to us, we explain everything to them, make sure they understand what it is that they're buying, because insurance is a language of its own.
Absolutely.
So we educate our customers on the products that they're purchasing. We don't just sell a number to them.
Right. So, that's one of the things that I like. And you speak about customer service. It's really important, I think, that when I call you, you're always picking up the phone, or you shift me over to your team members, and your team members are always very responsive as well.
Thank you.
And then even my clients, they've always given you a lot of great feedback as far as your response time, but as far as sharing good information. It's not just about providing that quote, but the information behind it as well. So, we've got a bunch of questions, and one of the questions today is, what are two most important things people should know about insurance coverage?
So pretty much, I believe that two of the most important things that they should know about insurance is the dwelling and deductibles. And when I speak about deductible, I'm referring to wind deductible, the hurricane deductible. The dwelling is what the home is insured for.
Right.
The dwelling amount. It is really important for customers, for home buyers, to understand what that is and how we insurance agents get to that value.
Got it.
But the dwelling is what it costs to rebuild the property in case of a complete total loss.
Right.
How much it costs to rebuild a home, brick by brick, nail by nail, excluding the land. Okay. We don't insure the land.
Right.
When you finance a property, you're financing the whole package, the
Exactly.
land and the structure.
Got it. So I'm a new home buyer, and for example, what are some of the things that I need to provide you in order to get that best coverage or get a quote from you?
Well, in all sincerity, all I need is a customer's name, address, phone number, and date of birth.
Okay.
But now, if you want to go to the nitty-gritty,
right,
we want to get the full point inspection.
Okay.
That will tell me eligibility of the property, what company we could insure that property with.
Got it.
And the wind mitigation. The wind mitigation is an important factor because that will help the customer reduce premium. It's a big money saver for the customer. So the wind mitigation is going to inspect the following points: the roof. When was the last time that the roof was actually updated, and the customer will get a credit for that?
Okay.
It's going to inspect also the construction code within the roof, and based on what code the property has, the customer might get a discount or not, depending on the code that they have. And most importantly, if the property has impact windows or hurricane panels, that will be reflected on the wind mitigation, and that is a huge money savings right there.
I like that. One of the things that I've heard from a lot of customers, when should I start shopping for the insurance? And I tell folks, the moment that you're under contract, we as lenders, when we give you an approval, we're going to estimate what the actual cost of the insurance may possibly be. But every property, as you know, is going to be different. So at the very beginning, after we've given you that quote and you're out there searching for the property, and you're now into a executed contract, it's really important that once you're getting into that executed contract, that you start looking about the insurance coverage, because our estimate may be very well way off depending upon the property. Okay. So that's why I urge you, always get in contact with your insurance provider right away. Jose's here to help as well, and identify what that true quote is going to be for you going forward, because all of that is going to affect your actual month-to-month monthly mortgage payment. So we want to make sure that, there it is, another busy call. I love it. And of course, he's not going to answer now, but thank you for that. So one of the other questions here as well is, what has changed in the last year related to insurance? Can you answer that?
Oh, yeah. A lot has changed recently. Some of the things that have changed, unfortunately, for consumers is that premiums have gone up.
Yeah.
Premiums today is not what it used to be a year, 2 or 3 years ago.
And in Florida, we're also considered kind of high risk, right?
We are.
Okay.
And right now, we are in August. So we are in the middle of hurricane season. Wow. And insurance companies know that.
Right.
So what's going to happen is a lot of companies decide to not write during hurricane season.
Okay.
Those that are writing decide to increase premiums during hurricane season. But besides that, one of the things that has recently happened is that premiums have skyrocketed because of abuse of insurance benefits, unfortunately. Okay. After Hurricane Irma, 2017, there has been a wave of insurance claims, many of them legit, but at the same time, many of them has been fraud.
Right.
An insurance company, a lot of companies today has gotten shut down by the state because they haven't been able to prove financial stability. So they get shut down by the state, and that volume falls on the remaining carriers, including Citizens, which is the government company, and they know they cannot afford to insure the whole entire state, and the remaining private carriers that are writing, they have all that volume that they got to write, and they'll do it, but at a higher premium because it's a higher risk. So it's all based on risk.
So that speaks to your expertise as well. You've been around again how many years?
Over 20.
Over 20 years. So, folks, to Jose's point, you really want to be looking at a reputable company that has history of being around, hopefully more than just a year or 2 years, right? And they can understand exactly what's happening in the market, knowing exactly when those changes occur. So you, as that professional, can provide as much information to them as possible.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Last time I saw anything happen like this was in 2005.
Wow.
Katrina and Wilma. During Hurricane Katrina and Wilma. Now, what's happening today is worse than 2005.
Right.
I mean, premiums did go up in 2005. Things got a little shaky. But today's market it's a little bit more serious than what happened in 2005. I mean, the companies getting shut down just this year. There's been about 7 companies that's gotten shut down by the state already.
Wow. Due to fraud or due to just not being able to sustain themselves?
It's a combination of everything. Abuse of insurance benefits, a.k.a. fraud. That's one thing. The other thing is that, yes, the reinsurance program, insurance company, they need to reinsure themselves.
Right.
And that's not a cheap premium. We're talking about millions of dollars here.
Right.
Some companies pay $150 million. Some companies pay $180 million a year to reinsure themselves. And that's one of the things they need to do in order to do business in Florida. The state mandates that they reinsure themselves. So the reinsurance premium for some of this company is just out of reach for them. Right. And the state sees that, and that's when they get shut down, when they cannot buy the reinsurance program. The state has no other option but to, liquidate the company. And it's happened to a few companies already.
Companies right now. Yeah. So, and then one of the other questions that have come up, and I've heard this all the time, is, how do people know that they actually do have enough coverage?
Well, that is a very good question. And it's simple. Replacement cost. Calculator. We insurance agents, we have every company that we quote with, give us access to the replacement cost estimator. And that's pretty much a calculator that will, we put the information of the property in there, the year built, how many square footage does the property have, the type of roof, how many bathrooms, the size of the kitchen, how many car garage. We pretty much get the DNA of the home, put it into this calculator, and it will give us a value to what insure the home for. Now, that value is what it costs to rebuild a home from the ground up, just the home. Remember, we're not including the land there.
Right.
And that value is given by the insurance company. And a lot of times, when we get that value, if we put everything, we go to the nitty-gritty of the property within the calculator, that property is going to be insured at 100% replacement cost. But the value that we're insuring the property for has nothing to do with the amount that you're financing the property or the selling price of the home or the appraised value. It's 2 complete different indexes. See?
Good. So it's important that buyers understand when they're shopping for their quote as well. What I'm gathering is, 1, definitely looking for a reputable company, right? 2, get your quote as early as possible once you've executed that contract. And then 3, definitely know what type of coverage you have
Right.
and what type of coverage is really needed to protect that asset and your property going forward. The last thing you want to do is be in the middle of a hurricane season, right?
Be uninsured.
And not right, be uninsured or not having any insurance whatsoever. So it's really important that you have that type of coverage.
I always tell, I always advise customers and lenders and real estate associates to review the replacement cost with the agent. I mean, the customer knows better than anybody what their property has. Right. So just when you're speaking to your agent, tell them, can we go over the replacement cost? Make sure that the property has either carpet for the floor or laminated floor or ceramic tile, whatever it is that he has. Make sure that the agent is putting all the little details of the property into the replacement cost, and that's going to give you the value to what insure the property for. Love it. Now, something else. Most insurance companies have a replacement cost, cost of living shield, an inflation shield. So when there's a cost of living increase, when there's inflation like now, let's say you do a policy today for $200,000, just an example, that's the replacement cost. And let's say that next year there's an increase in the cost of living, like a 3-5%, for example. Well, let's say that you insure the property with Citizens, Florida Peninsula, or Edison, one of those private direct carriers. If there's a cost of living, if there's a cost of life increase, the insurance company will automatically increase the dwelling coverage for you, for the customer.
And that's huge, and especially when we're in the middle of an inflation crisis, right, that we're dealing with and a lot of families are dealing with as well. So thank you for those points. Listen, Jose, it's been great having you on. Definitely want to have you come back at some point in time. Give us your contact information, your phone number, and probably your email address as well.
Well, phone number is 786-464-0861. And if you need a quote from us so we could help you, you can send it to quotes@peoplesinsuranceonline.com or just check our website at www.peoplesinsuranceonline.com.
Thank you again. Take care, folks. More information to come on Prime Professional. Take care. Bye now.